it continues. And then at some point, for whatever reason, you come out of it. You see, at the moment when you come out of it, something very significant takes place. But we're not going to be able to appreciate it until we understand this. Huh. Would you agree that you can have a thought that continues, and it's either unique, first time you have ever thought of it, and therefore you should be surprised at its richness and newness, or it's recycled, or you've had it before. You see, if you had it before, then in some way your mind is reminding yourself, right, is playing it again. That is to remind. Now, suppose then we were to ask, is it equally likely that if you could watch this process, that you know very well you've had something like it, if not the very same thing, previously? That is to say, you know, you had it before. Now, if you know you had it before, then why don't you terminate it? Well, let's go a step further. If you want to be inquisitive about the mind, perhaps you can now engage this thought. Say, is it possible that something precedes that thought? Something precedes it. Something precedes it. That is extremely compact, compressed, seed-like. Seed-like. And if you pay attention to the way your thoughts come up, just watch them. Don't bother trying to control or direct them. Is it not likely then that you might take an interest in knowing whether or not there is something that preceded the particular thought, any one of these, and that it has a seed-like quality? Now, if it has a seed-like quality, then you know the whole thing. You're aware of the whole thing. That is to say, you don't have to talk to yourself. You don't have to tell yourself anything. If it has a seed-like quality, in which is it already condensed and compacted, well, you can turn off this, I'm going to call this now, sub-vocal dialogue with yourself, right? That sub-vocal dialogue that goes on. You can turn it off because you know what's coming. You don't have to go through all that. Now then, if it's true that if you take a look at your own mind to see whether or not this is true or not, it raises a rather interesting question. Then why do we tolerate this verbalization, the sub-vocalization of something we already know. Here it comes again. Therefore, we can ask, what is going on here that we endure, allow, tolerate, enjoy? Doesn't matter. What's going on here? Because if we could terminate it, because we have the whole thing in a minuscule package, right, like a seed, well then, to allow ourselves to do that, there must be something that's going on. Because we do endure it, we allow it, we tolerate it. In some cases, we may even enjoy this thought formation. Now, what is it? Well, we do not agree. We have to add something to this. There is no thought with its image that doesn't have a certain right? Certain tone to it. Our subvocal thoughts have a certain manner and style and tone to them. You can describe with great accuracy, if you take time out, that tonal quality of the thoughts. Those tonal qualities of the thought, if you explore just a bit further, are very likely to be connected with this image. So you have a thought, you have an accompanying image, there's a certain tonal quality to the thought. It can go on for a certain period of time, it can continue, because there's something else in it. As it continues, it has, right, it continues as a drama. That is to say, it has a content, it's going somewhere. Has a drama. If you allow it, it will become a fantasy. Or parts of it. Well then, why do we ever wake up from it? Why do we ever wake up? How do we account for this? You see, the two things we have to try to describe. We have to describe, we have to describe the entrance into it. Why do we go into it? Why do we go into it?